Well, I think, quite frankly, it is marketing genius.
I knew
We're on
he
the
was going to
same
say
page there,
that.
Housem.
I mean, is there anybody on the planet Earth other than some people in South Korea, to be sure, that is frightened of the North Koreans? I mean, honestly, I think it's marketing 401 is what it is.
Well, and of course, I mean, I gave two choices: the White House and public backlash. Of course, from George Clooney on down to B-listers, actors, actresses throughout Hollywood had their hair on fire. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that would be a great story if that were the case. Hey, we're not going to release the film, wink, wink, and then the firestorm starts on multiple levels, and then they say, "Oh, yeah, we were just kidding." I mean, that sounds good. I'm not sure that I completely buy that, though.
Right.
Well, they
Yeah,
did
I don't
hire
know.
their.
I'm. It's not hard for me to be. I mean, I can see Franco and Rogan like, you know what? We have got to do something to just raise. Not that the movie wasn't going to do well or whatever to begin with, but just something creative out of the box. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe
Well,
maybe the Sony.
the movie reportedly sucks, but let's let noted film critic, our producer Jessica, weigh in. Jessica, what are your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm with Housem. This is marketing genius. They did hire their version of Olivia Pope to like come and help with the backlash stuff that was going on with the emails that did get leaked, which did freak them out. But this movie was gonna suck, and it wasn't gonna do well, and it just kind of helped them. It was a gift from the North Koreans, really, to be
I agree. Listen, I agree with you guys to the extent that everyone on the planet that lives in the U.S. will want to see this movie now, even though I think we all three agree, at least from what we've read, the movie does suck. And irrespective of the fact that, is it in good taste to put out a comedy, much less a drama or whatever have you, but a comedy about the assassination of a foreign leader, even if it is the little nut job in North Korea. I mean, that's a different discussion. But even if they didn't do it on purpose that way, as you guys believe it happened, no question that the way it turned out is a marketing bonus extravaganza for Sony.
Oh, totally. I think so.
Oh my gosh, totally.
And it was just the thing. They were only going to get like the stoner population before going to see this movie. So now they're getting everybody.
Apparently Jessica is very familiar with the likes of the stoner population. But I don't know.
I live close enough to a college.
A bunch of nerds having wanted to see it.
Oh, I live close enough to a college. It was the stoner population.
Did you see the one? I forget what it's called. Like the end of the Earth, where they're all at James Franco's house partying and the Earth ends. Oh man,
that one was hilarious. Actually, This Is the End. That was hilarious.
This is the end. I thought that movie was. I mean, those. These guys are just goofing off, is what they're doing.
Did you guys see the? Speaking of goofing off, I mean, that's what we're doing today because it's our last show. We'll probably, bust out the bubbly before Christmas. But did you guys see where Obama was talking about it and he referred to him as James Flacco?
I did not see that.
You didn't see it either?
No.
Franco has come out and tweeted or made a comment about it. But Obama went Biden there and referred to him as James Flacco. I thought that was pretty hilarious.
You know what, man? Franco is a talented guy.
I think he's hilarious. He hosted Saturday Night Live, right, 2-3 weeks ago or something.
Yeah, but he's an artist. He writes music. He does the acting thing. I mean, these movies are goofs, but if you ever saw, 128 Hours or whatever?
He's a super good actor. He really is. And
yeah, that was the one where he was trapped in the desert and ended up cutting his arm off. That was a story about that guy that cut his arm off.
That's a true story. Yeah.
Yeah, Franco played that role. I mean, he is a incredibly talented guy, and he's not an idiot. I mean, he may smoke copious amounts of weed every day, but he's not an idiot.
Don't hold that against him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I did not see that, and I think that's good, man. I tell you what. Speaking of other movies, Mike, did you see the article I did about Clint Eastwood and Bradley Cooper and Chris Kyle?
Man, let's talk about that.
Okay, dude. This thing is going to be absolutely nuts. So here's the deal, folks. I put this article up this morning a few hours ago, and it's up to like 1/3 views already. And the context of my particular story is that the director, Clint Eastwood, and Bradley Cooper went to Hamilton, Texas to meet with Chris Kyle's dad about the movie. And for those of you that, God, I can't even imagine you wouldn't be, but if you're not aware, Chris Kyle was the most prolific sniper in American history. He wrote an incredibly best-selling novel called American Sniper. I read that literally the day it came out. I downloaded it onto my iPad and read it. And then a couple years ago, he was tragically killed. He was helping a fellow veteran recover from PTSD, which is what Kyle has done since he got out of the military, and the guy killed him. Anyway, prior to Kyle being killed, the rights to the movie were sold. Clint Eastwood and Bradley Cooper were brought on, Eastwood directing, Bradley Cooper playing it. They go to Texas to meet Kyle's dad. And Chris Kyle's dad told him that he would unleash hell on them if they did anything to disrespect his son.
Yeah.
So, while I was exploring this, I mean, I knew that the movie was coming out. I know it's supposed to come out Christmas Day. And the guy, just reading the book, I mean, it's just it's an amazing American hero, an amazing story. And then obviously the capstone at the end of it is him getting killed, which is obviously awful. But Miller, if you've not seen it, go to AmericanSniperMovie.com and watch the trailer with Bradley Cooper. And, it's just little snapshots of going through the movie. And
yeah, I did last week, and it looks a Hausum spellbinding terms. It literally does look kind of spellbinding, if you will. Here, I think these things are generally, well, I mean, not generally. They're docudramas, right? I mean, they're based on fact. They also sometimes, well, they have to. I mean, whether you're writing a book, tangential here, but O'Reilly writing the killing of Lincoln or whatever, all the way to a movie, you have to make up dialogue, right? Because you don't have transcripts of everything these people said. So I, being the skeptic, which is probably why I watch a lot less movies than you guys do, I always wonder what the objective is. Although Clint Eastwood produced this, right? So I'm guessing there's no hidden agenda here.
Yeah, as far as I could tell, that's the case. Like, did you see? Oh my gosh, what was the name of that movie about those guys? Came out last year. The guy wrote the book. He was also a SEAL. The guys in Afghanistan or he was an Army Ranger. The guys were behind the lines in Afghanistan with Mark Wahlberg. What was the name of that movie, Jess?
Lone Survivor.
Lone Survivor. Did you see that movie, Mike?
I did not. I saw Zero Dark 30, but that's as far as, yeah.
All right, well, Lone Survivor is the same kind of deal. What was the guy's name? He's been all over Fox News for a year. I did a couple articles on it. Do you remember, Jess?
No, I'm spacing right now. Sorry.
Is he the guy? Is he the SEAL that was also involved in rescuing the captain of the ship from the Somali pirates?
No, that is not it. Marcus Luttrell was the guy's
name.
That's
right, Luttrell. That's right. Absolutely.
Marcus Luttrell, who, comes off as a little bit of a Bubba when he's on Fox and stuff. I mean, he is not. He's not in your mind what you would picture as he's. Let's look at this. Put it this way: he's not Sterling Archer. Marcus Luttrell. Anyway, so Lone Survivor, it was the same kind of deal. There was a bunch of things in that movie, even though Luttrell, who wrote the book, was one of the screenwriters. He was a consultant on set every single day. I saw a couple of interviews where he talked about things that were different in the movie than in the book. but they were almost all shortcuts for communicating the message, not um, a they didn't take the story from, they didn't move the story, they didn't introduce characters that were heroic that didn't exist, or vice versa, or they didn't add in the fact, like they do in oftentimes in reality-ish based dramas.
Right.
And those things drive me nuts. Like, what was that? I always refer to this movie. What was the movie that Mark Wahlberg was in about the Philadelphia Eagles football player?
I got nothing.
That he was a track star, and the movie made it seem like he's a 40-year-old guy that just happened to walk on the Philadelphia Eagles practice field because he was really good playing football on the weekends with his buddies.
I remember kind of the gist of it, but no, I didn't.
Yeah, and then the real story was that the guy did play football. He was a rock star, on and on and on and on and on. And they took an interesting story. They took a moderately interesting story and made it sound like a world-class hero, which really bugged me. From what I've seen so far about American Sniper, is that it's basically an encapsulation of Chris Kyle's book on screen. And everything I've seen about it said that it might be not only Bradley Cooper's finest role ever, it might be one of the best played roles by any actor ever, and also perhaps Eastwood's best movie ever.
I thought I read, that's saying a lot for both of those guys, because Cooper, tremendous actor, and I had tremendous respect for Clint Eastwood. I thought I read somewhere and I don't know that it's Hollywood, but that it's kind of been being snubbed a bit. Is there any truth to that?
Oh, I don't know, but could you imagine how difficult it would be to not snub that movie if, you're living in Brentwood, you're driving your Prius.
Exactly.
You just wrote your check to $20,000 to Obama for the photo op. You're actively involved in reducing the influence of America everywhere in the world. And all of a sudden, this movie comes through that every single resident of the state of Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Iowa, Idaho, Missouri all line up to see and love. I mean, your gut reaction if you're that guy is to protest that movie.
Well, and, they probably, who knows? Obviously, Kyle tragically murdered on a shooting range as he was trying to work with PTSD victims or whatever have you. But I'm sure as he became famous, his book, I'm sure there were people at the time, as you just described, the the demographics, who not hated the guy personally. That's too strong to say. But the whole idea of an American in a war that the folks you just described abhor over there killing people. I'm sure this guy had a lot of detractors without even knowing about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, so we're just about out of time. What time's our guest coming up? The next half hour or at 3?
Yes, 2:30.
Okay, cool. You have been listening to The Right Mics. Wait, are we out of time, Jess? Did I read the clock wrong?
We are at 30 seconds right now.
Okay.
We're paranoid from yesterday.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to overshoot by 6 minutes. We'll have 6 minutes of quiet time. You have been listening to The Right Mics with Mike Miller and Michael Hausum. Please hold on. I do want to do a quick shout out. 2 things before we go off. Dan Fitzgerald, good listener, does not like the Spreaker app. We'll deal with that. Also, Chris Franklin, another listener, is constantly on Twitter interacting about stuff with the show. Chris, man, I really appreciate that. Folks, please hold on. We will be right back. Thank you for listening.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis from the Daily Caller, and you are listening to Vigilant Liberty Radio.
At Independent Journal Review, we publish news that is objective, fair, and entertaining. As one of the top websites in the United States, it's our duty to bring the absolute best to our readers.